Hello, good morning, folks in the YouTube community. This is Tall and Light Feet once again coming to you for another video. Welcome to my kitchen once again. I wanted to kind of do like just a basic quick dessert, basically to kind of, I guess, have something to go with along with some of the festivities that we actually had yesterday. This, I know, video is maybe a little late when I post it, so happy 4th of July to those that celebrate happy 4th of July. I hope that you all had like a great family and friends gathering and such. So I wanted to kind of get that out of the way first, but I know for this video here, I'm not really wanting to have the camera focus kind of on me. I just kind of wanted to kind of shoot from behind here because I don't really feel like actually having to, do all of the preliminaries as far as trying to look presentable. Not that I look unpresentable, but I just don't want to feel like having the camera on me this morning here. So I wanted to kind of go ahead, and actually do a quick cake and everything of that nature. And again, I'll probably take a portion of it or whatever to my mom when I go to visit her this afternoon. But yeah, yesterday was actually quite an event with the celebrations and everything of the 4th of July. For the most part, we had lots of food and everything of that nature, lots of seafood. I just love the way that we celebrate our 4th of July. We have, someone in the family that's an executive chef. So basically, they went all out, with the festivities, having different courses and everything of meals and everything. First we had the pasta salads, the seafood pastas, then we actually had the crabs, then we had the shrimp, we had the potatoes, all of that type of stuff, and then they turned around and actually end up frying some fish. I mean, it was just a beautiful thing to behold. But I wanted to kind of go ahead and actually, have a little dessert with that, because again, I did bring home a lot of leftovers and actually of that nature. Let me actually show you the crabs for the most part, because again, we had so much food to eat that it was so much left over. So basically, we actually, the chef, my dad's folks or whatever, the executive chef in the family or whatever, he said that he did not want any food to be left behind. So basically, but let me show you for the most part what I actually brought back for the most part with me. Now I will say basically it's gonna take some time for me to eat all of this, but basically if you can look at all that. Nothing but seafood and everything of that nature. All of this is nothing but, for the most part, crabs, shrimps. If you can look, you can see all of that in there. Just look at all of that. So basically, it's gonna, all of that goodness. It's gonna take a little while for me to actually eat all of this, but again, I have my time picked for it, that nature. Let me show you something else also, because again, it was more basically, it was just a seafood fest. Also too, look at that. Shrimps, all of that type of stuff, some sausages and potatoes and stuff in there. So basically, again, and I'm also having some shrimp scampi. I'm actually heating that over. I'm gonna have that for lunch when everything is all said and done. And basically also too, I might have a little bit of food that I'm actually gonna take with me for lunch tomorrow at work. But look at that. Some ribs and a little bit of shrimp and some pasta with that as well. If you can see that in there. Oh my goodness. We actually went all out, if I may say so myself, with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually put all of this delicious food back in the refrigerator so we can go ahead and get started with cooking or making the cake. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do first of all, before anything else, of course, I want to go ahead and start off, following the directions basically of the box. All of the directions and everything is on the box and everything, but I guess wanted to do a little bit of substitution if I could. I know it's asking for 3/4 cups of water, so I think I may actually try to substitute that with milk, because I heard that if you substitute water, which what they call for in these cake mixes, with milk, it actually makes it a lot more fluffier. All right, so that's pretty much, I think, the only thing that I'm actually going to substitute. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get started with this. So hopefully everything turns out okay with the cake mix. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Okay, I'm so excited with having to, start really getting good use out of my kitchen. Okay. Also too, let me see here. I think I am going to need You know, I'm not gonna. I think I'll actually end up having to use my wooden spoon because I think I want to make sure. Let's get that out of the way. So excuse me if you hear noise, it's off camera. That's just me getting things prepared and organized. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. Then it's again asks for 3 large eggs. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get that. 1. 2. I know it's going to be lunchtime for me soon because I like to eat lunch every day around the same time, even when I'm at work, of course. I know some people look at me and think that I'm crazy, but again, I'm like a creature of habit. Basically, if when I find a routine that works for me, I want to stick to it. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and do that. Now, the next part of this part here, as far as the recipe goes, it asks for a stick of butter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually put a stick of butter in here. And I'm going to go ahead and actually see if I can go to my microwave and melt it. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and melted the butter, some semi, melted. It'll be all right. Also, it asks for water, but again, 3/4 water. But I don't want to do water. I want to do milk. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 1/4 cup and just do it 3 times to make the 3/4 cup of. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's the 3/4 cup that they're asking for. Alrighty, so I'll go ahead, take that to the side here. Right, put that in the sink. We'll get that taken care of in just a minute. Right, let me put this back in the refrigerator. Okay. Ooh. Alrighty. Okay, got that out of the way. And then I want to go ahead and put my butter in there. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and mix this really good, okay? Alrighty. So I just actually want to kind of go ahead and make just a regular kind of a pound cake kind of sort of, and get this done, because again, with all of the dessert and everything that we actually had yesterday, I was surprised that we really didn't even have, dessert. I mean, the food and everything was great, don't get me wrong, but when it came time for something sweet other than soda, we didn't really have anything. So I was like, this morning when I got up, I said, well, I got all of this food, that I'm gonna have to eat up. And keep in mind, now, again, I didn't get all of the crabs. Okay, we, of course, we had people that ate crabs and everything, but there was so much left over, he was like, look, y'all better get these crabs, because if y'all don't get it, it's just gonna get thrown away. So I had, got as much as I possibly can, and my dad got as much as he can, and some other, guests and everything, and people from the other side of the family that was there, they wanted to, to get what they can as well. So I was like, goodness gracious. So we had to have a lot of seafood, if you saw what I just, let you guys see at the beginning of the video. So what I'm going to do here, let me finish mixing this real good so I can go ahead and grease this down and then preheat my oven so I can go ahead and continue on in the next step of the process here. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead off camera and actually poured the batter inside of this greased bundt pan, because again, it can be a bit messy when you're actually only filming and doing everything on your own, meaning I don't have anyone here to help me to film this, which is fine. You just have to kind of be smart about it and work around, on how you film things. Of course, I have my oven already preheating. What I want to do is that I like swirls in my cake. Now, since this is actually basically a regular pound cake, you know, again, I want to kind of make it where, you know, kind of put my little spin on it. So what I would like to do is I would like to put some sort of swirls in there. So since I do have some chocolate syrup, you know, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of ever so lightly, or gently I should say, include like some little swirls in there. You know, just kind of go around and just kind of, you know, do it like this. It doesn't have to be any way fancy or anything like that. All right. So I did with that, with the swirl like that. And then I'm going to go ahead also with the caramel. Again, this is my cake. I'll fix it the way that I want. I'll do it the way that I want. Okay? Boom. So after that's done, of course, what I like to do as well is so the swirl can kind of get inside, you know, in the deep parts, you know, in the inside of the cake. I'll just kind of go ahead and just kind of mess it up a little bit with my fork. Just kind of jab it a little bit. Again, a lot of people may say, you know what? He's messing up the decorations and everything of that. That's fine. But I want to make sure that at least some of the swirls and everything like that gets on the inside of the cake. And that's the whole point of me doing this, as far as the swirl goes. Boom. Actually, to be honest with you, it looks actually really good even when you go in and do it like this. I like that. This looks very nice. Okay, so you can actually see, for the most part, take a look and see this is what's going on here. Make sure I'm in focus. And this is pretty much how it's going to go in the oven. Right now, my oven is actually right now at 165. So I'm going to wait until about 350. And I'm going to go ahead and put the cake in there. And I'm going to let it bake. And then once we return, I'll go ahead and let you guys see the outcome of the cake. Okay, so I just actually taken the cake out of the oven. Looks pretty good. Taking a look and just inspecting it. Oh yeah. It is very good. And the beautiful part about it is you can smell the butteriness out of it. I mean, if that's a thing, you can actually smell that, you know, that it's got butter in it. Got that heavy butter smell. So this cake is going to be pretty much very moist. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait for this cake to cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually put it in the little cake stand that I actually have. And again, I'll include that also in the video. Okay, so here's the finished product here. Okay, so I have it here in my nice cake stand. You can see it right there. I have it sitting on my counter. Take a look at it here. This looks very nice. I must say so myself. I'll be, you know, taking a little piece of it, you know, and checking it out. But I'm gonna just wait for it to kind of, you know, chill for just a little bit. But that's pretty much my delicious pound cake. All right. Thank you guys.